Hey guys, what's up? Today I want to do a quick review on Red Rock Audio's new RE3Q EQ plugin, this blue one over here. I'm a big fan of a lot of Red Rock's rack extensions, and this one is no exception. If you ask me, it's totally, absolutely modeled on the MAAG or the MAAG RE6 EQ. And I say that because they're both blue, but also they have basically the same series of fixed bands. You notice there's 5 frequencies here. This is 10 hertz, 40 hertz, 160, 650, 2.5. You don't get to choose what you're adjusting, and you don't get to choose the Q or the width of your adjustment to these bells or to the shelf. But nonetheless, these are set in very interesting and musical places, more so, I think, than a lot of the other EQs. These aren't going to be your workhorse EQs because you don't have a lot of control. But I think when it comes time to put something on your buses for each channel after you've mixed 4 or 5 guitars together, the way these are designed, they could be really, really effective on individual buses or on each bus, and I think they can also be pretty effective on the master channel if you're somebody to put EQ on your 2 bus. Some people believe in it, some don't. Not going to get into that right now, but if you do, this can be interesting. And then the other good thing these guys do on top of this 5-band EQ is basically right here on the right, the section that Red Rock Audio calls a rock band, but that MAAG would call an air band. And basically it lets you add air or almost harmonic excitement in a series of bands up to 40 kilohertz, which is something we can't hear, but it's a very, very broad adjustment, very wide in terms of the number of octaves that are affected. So it probably drags some of the stuff we can hear up with it. Now Red Rock Audio also makes a harmonic exciter for Reason, and I do not like that plugin at all. So with that said, I really love the rock band adjustment here. I think it's a great harmonic exciter, and it's probably what I'll use in place of the other one. So before I show you how it works, I want to just take a minute to talk about this song, which is inspired by the show Stranger Things. I've been binge watching it nonstop. It's awesome. I'm loving it, and it just I wanted to mess around with a song like that, especially after I bought this Solaris synth from Skrock, and also the Orbis synth from Skrock. I really like them. They do a great sort of 80s retro type sound. So I'm going to be doing a review of those guys shortly. I haven't gotten around to it just yet. I'm still trying to figure them out. But be sure to subscribe if you want to check those out. And if you like what I've done, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. If you don't like it, feel free to give me a thumbs down. But I'd really appreciate if you could write a comment about what I could do to improve, because I'm trying to make some helpful videos for you guys. So without further ado, let's take a quick listen to this song. It's still a work in progress, but I think you'll get it pretty quickly, and then we'll make some adjustments with the RE3Q. Alright, so you get an idea of what the song is and where it's going. So, let's start with this arpeggiated sound here. And let me just turn off the automation. But what I will say is this rock gain channel is also really good for automating to make increased interest. So, let's listen to it bypassed. And now let's add the RE3Q. You hear I've made it a little more brittle by adding some 2.5 and adding some rock gain and then cutting the 650. You hear how it just is slightly less wonky when I cut that, and it also is going to fit much better in the mix. And then this just sort of gives it a little more high end. That's too much, but right around there. And then let's check out the rock. A little dull, but just some crispness it adds. Here and there, that's a little extreme. You can also do it on lower bands. I think for this, 10 is great. Now, you hear that's still like not a harsh sound, even when it's boosted 10 dB at 10 kilohertz. I think that's really impressive. But that leads me to a question about this. Look how the peak light. One problem I do have with this RE3Q is that there is no manual out for it yet. And so I don't know if that peaking is a good thing or a bad thing in this EQ. To me, it sounds like it's adding a nice amount of harmonic distortion and saturation. And as the old adage goes, if it sounds good, it is good. But I'd like to know what's really going on when the peak light is hitting. So that's the big thing I have to knock against the RE3Q. Is just I don't really know what's going on. I don't know how broad these octaves are, and I don't know what it means when it peaks. Now let's listen to this on the drum bus. I was let's listen to this on the drum bus. And I was doing some experiments with peaking using the Selig gain, and honestly, it sounded musical to me, the distortion, but still, I don't really know. So here's the drum bus. And let's turn off the EQ. You hear how much more punchy that is? How much less honk and wonk there is? And I got that by boosting the crack parts and really cutting a lot of the lower end out of it, which I think is counterintuitive, but the way these bands are designed, I think it just worked well here. Like, that's just where the dirty mud it is. I think you could argue for the 40 hertz here, but I think it was just too bassy, and then we got some crack up there. And then finally, I just want to show this on the master bus. Whether or not you think you should add stuff to the master bus, that's a whole other thing, but let's listen to it once without. And basically, all I did was cut out a little tiny bit on the low end, cut out around 2.5, but I've added in some air to make up for that slight cut. So. And we lost some volume, but let's try adding some more air just so you can see what that does. So long story short, I'm really enjoying this plugin. I think it's great on buses. I think honestly you don't need many EQ plugins. The three that I really enjoy are the stock M-Class equalizer, this RE3Q, and then the Trident A-Range. But honestly, I think I probably now prefer the RE3Q over the Trident. The Trident doesn't really do anything I don't think I could do with the stock plugins. I think it just is easier to dial it in because you've got the presets, or not the presets, but fewer options, I guess, than you do on the M-Class equalizer. And then obviously just the EQ that you can do on the mixer as well. So all said, I would totally recommend this. I think it retails for like 35 bucks and it's on sale right now. So if you come into some cash, I totally recommend it. Hope you enjoyed and look forward to hearing from you.